Constitution on 17th September 1948. So that is about article question number 16. Then question number 17. Right, question number 17. Consider the following statements with reference to the preamble of the Indian Constitution. Statement 1 says it is not considered a part of the Constitution. No. Initially, in a case known as Re-Birbar Union case, (1960), the Supreme Court held that the preamble was not a part of the Constitution. Re here means reference. It stands for reference, a reference made by the President of India seeking the advisory opinion of the Supreme Court. So that's the meaning of re. However, in the Kashwananda Bharati case, (1973), the Supreme Court overruled its earlier decision and held the preamble as a part of the Constitution of the country. So now it is well established the preamble is a part of the Constitution. The difference is, if the preamble is not a part of the Constitution, it cannot be amended by the Parliament. Whereas if the preamble is a part of the Constitution, it is subject to the amendment by the Parliament. So that's the legal significance of this. And the preamble is a part of the Constitution, it is established now. But is it an essential part of the Constitution? Well, if you see, it is not an essential part of the Constitution. It is a part of the Constitution, but it is not an essential part. For example, that the heart, the lungs, the brain, they are all essential parts of the human body. But the hair and the nail, they are not essential part of the human body. In the sense, even if they are cut, if they are removed, that the normal life of the human being does not get affected. Likewise, even if the preamble is removed from the Constitution, the functioning of the Constitution in no way is going to get affected. Why? Because the preamble cannot override a specific provision of the Constitution. If there is a clash between the preamble and a specific provision of the Constitution, the provision of the Constitution will prevail over the preamble. So because of this, it's not essential. Moreover, that all written constitutions do not have a preamble. Some of the written constitutions do not have preamble. For example, the Government of India Act 1935. Which was the previous Constitution of India, which the current Constitution replaced on 26th January 1950, it did not have a preamble. So it is not necessary that a written Constitution should have a preamble of its own. Whereas under international law, all international documents must have a preamble, and the preamble holds a significant place in a international legal document, whereas in case of a national document like the Constitution, that it's not necessary it should have a preamble. Then further, you must also recognize the fact that preamble so far has not been held to be a part of the basic structure of the Constitution by the Supreme Court. No doubt preamble contains the values of the Constitution, like sovereignty, socialism, secularism, the democracy and republic, the constitutional values which have been recognized by the Supreme Court in various cases as parts of the basic structure of the Constitution, but the preamble per se has not been recognized, has not been held to be a part of the basic structure by the Supreme Court so far. Then the second statement, the preamble is not justiciable in nature. That is one of the characteristics of the preamble. Then third statement, it has been amended only once so far during the national emergency in 1976. Yes, as you all know, the 42nd Amendment Act in 1976 amended the preamble and introduced the words socialism, secularism and integrity. So three words were introduced into the preamble by the 42nd Amendment Act. So based upon this, that statements 2 and 3 are correct and statement 1 is wrong, and the answer is B for Bangalore. In fact, the preamble to the Indian Constitution was based on the objective resolutions passed by the Constituent Assembly as introduced by Pandit Nehru on 22nd January 1948. So, and the last part of the Constitution to be adopted by the Constituent Assembly of India was the preamble. So only after having adopted all the parts of the Constitution that the preamble was finally adopted by the Constitution, by the Constituent Assembly. Right. Then question number 18. Well, question number 18, which of the following factors were considered by the States Reorganization Commission report of 1955 for reorganization of the states? So the States Reorganization Commission was established in 1955, which consisted of 3 members, that it was chaired by a judge of the Supreme Court, Fazl Ali, and it included Sardar Panikkar as the second member and H.N. Kunzru as the third member of the commission. So, what were the terms of the reference that were made to the commission based on which that the reorganization of the states was subsequently done?